Hey everybody, it's Dustin, and we've had not one, but two major delays this week. One probably a bit more painful than the other, but still, two delays nonetheless. Obviously, the big news right now is that Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed once again. Coming from the Cyberpunk Twitter account, we've now received the meme-like status of this yellow card explaining what's going on with the game. So I thought it would be interesting just to take a closer look at this message to see if we can get a little bit more info if we take a closer look at what's going on with the game. The letter says, "Hey everyone, today we've decided to move the release of Cyberpunk 2077 by 21 days. The new release date is December 10th. Most likely, there are many emotions and questions in your heads. So, first and foremost, please accept our humble apologies. The biggest challenge for us right now is shipping the game on current gen, next gen, and PC at the same time, which requires us to prepare and test 9 versions of it: Xbox One, Xbox One X, compatibility with Xbox Series S and X, PS4 and PS4 Pro, compatibility with PS5, PC, Stadia, all while working from home. Since Cyberpunk 2077 evolved towards almost being a next-gen title somewhere along the way, we need to make sure everything works well and every version runs smoothly. We're aware it might seem unrealistic when someone says that 21 days can make any difference in such a massive and complex game, but we really do. So before we go any further, I think this is the most interesting part of this whole letter. And this is actually something that I've talked about before in the past. Right now, cross-gen games are more messy than ever, and Cyberpunk is laying it all out on the line, saying what's going on. So let's go over this again. For Cyberpunk and other cross-gen games, we're looking at Xbox One, which that includes the original Xbox and Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5, PC, and in the case of Cyberpunk, even Stadia. So yeah, having 9 versions of a game is a little messy, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see issues crop up in the first batch of cross-gen games. For example, just today I saw that Watch Dogs Legion has a game-breaking bug on Xbox One X. The bug is detailed in this Eurogamer article from Martin Robinson, and he talks about how the game freezes at a certain point and completely shuts down the console. Now, obviously game-breaking bugs are not specific to cross-gen games. That's not what I'm trying to say. The point is, with 9 different versions of a game, that is a lot of extra work to not only optimize, but also make sure that all the bugs are ironed out. And let me tell you guys, this Watch Dogs bug I don't believe is going to be the only one we're going to see in this cross-gen batch of games. There will be more. It's such an interesting situation that I'm sure that a lot of developers find themselves in right now. At the beginning of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One generation, there were 2 SKUs to develop for as far as console, Xbox and PlayStation. Then we got the mid-generation upgrades with Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro, and so then it turned into 4. So what used to be one of the biggest strengths of developing for a console, as in the 1 SKU per device situation, is just not true anymore. And with a game as big as Cyberpunk, I'm sure that the amount of testing and optimizing on each one is extensive. So let's keep on reading the letter here. Some of you might also be wondering what these words mean in light of us saying we achieved Gold Master some time ago. Passing certification, or going gold, means the game is ready, can be completed, and has all content in it. But it doesn't mean we stop working on it and raising the quality bar. On the contrary, this is the time where many improvements are being made which will then be distributed via a Day 0 patch. This is the time period we undercalculated. We feel we have an amazing game on our hands and are willing to make every decision, even the hardest ones, if it ultimately leads to you getting a better video game you'll fall in love with. So this has been another interesting element of the discourse online, is the fact that the game went gold and now it's being delayed again. but I think that they did a good job laying out what that means. At some point during a game's development, you have to go gold and press it to disk, a finalized version of the game. And as they said, this means that it is ready and it can be completed. But the work is not done yet in our modern landscape of games that have updates. And honestly, pretty much every studio does this at this point. I think that CD Projekt Red is also in a particularly personal situation as well, being that The Witcher 3 launched with quite a few bugs across the board. Despite that though, the game still scored a 92 on Metacritic. So CD Projekt Red must be thinking overall, not only do we want to launch better than The Witcher 3, but they also want to live up to that high 92 score, and I'm sure that their goal is to beat it. It's crazy to think about now, but Cyberpunk was actually revealed back in May of 2012. So now it's been over 8 years that this game has been in some form of production. To me, it makes sense that, they're right at the finish line, and pushing back just a little bit longer is going to put in that extra polish to make things, hopefully, nearly perfect at launch. But we'll have to see on that one. In my personal opinion, I don't really feel like this is a huge deal for a lot of us. I understand a lot of people were very excited, and it is especially unfortunate if you had already planned a time off of work or whatever to play this game. That sucks. There's no arguing about that. But for a lot of us, this was going to come out right at the launch of next gen. There's already so many games coming out around the launch of Xbox Series X and PS5 that pushing this game back is just going to give those other games more time to breathe. For me, I know it would be a really difficult situation to decide whether I want to sit down and play Demon's Souls Remake or Cyberpunk, since they're both probably going to be at least pretty good. I think moving the date to December 10th will be great for the players overall. Give them time to play whether it's Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Demon's Souls, whatever. And then once you're done with those next-gen games that you were really excited for, December 10th is right there, ready to go. Ultimately, in the end, games are very hard to make, especially when you have one of the most anticipated games maybe ever. And it's also a big, open-world, complicated game. And so those 21 days, I think, really could make a difference. You always hear that development really can come together in the last few weeks. And so I think that CD Projekt Red can hopefully do something pretty great in those last few days. But we'll have to see on December 10th. So what do you think? Are you upset? Are you disappointed in this delay? Or are you at peace with it? Let me know down in the comments what you think. And also, you've got to subscribe to us here at Colin's Last Stand to make sure you get new episodes of SideQuest every week. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell to get notified. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.